of the land. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to speak, and to invite each and every one of you, because you've proven that you are human to the core, that you're here to stand for what is right, for protecting the rights of people to live with dignity. I'd like to tell you my little story, and it applies to a lot of Palestinians. I grew up in the West Bank, in the North West Bank, in Tul Karim. I was shot when I was 12 years old. An innocent kid going back home from school to try and see, very eager to know what my mom has cooked for lunch, for an Israeli occupation force sniper to shoot me in my neck, and I still hold the bullet in my shoulder. It's being left as a souvenir. I lost the use of my arm for 6 months, so I feel with all those people. Thousands of children now in Gaza and in the West Bank are left incapacitated or left with lots of disabilities that they can never heal. We survived, and I was asking myself at that time, what have I done to this enemy? I've done nothing wrong. I'm only a 12-year-old child. And the other day when I saw the video of a kid who was asking the paramedics, will I live? I remembered myself at that time. I remembered how I felt. But there is no mercy. And I thought as the time comes, as all Palestinians, we pull ourselves from the ashes and we keep fighting. And then I went to the medical school, where there was no medical school before we joined. We spent 7 hard years with the occupation trying to make our life hard at each and every station. We studied medicine and trained to be the first 21 doctors to graduate there. They built the wall. We were struggling to get to our hospitals. We were struggling to get to our exams. Yet they were put through, and we passed and we became doctors. And as fate happens, I became a doctor as an intern doctor at the hospital I was taken to when I was a child, when I was shot, and was working there like all Palestinian doctors with very limited resources, with sudden large amount of injured patients rushed from the F-16 bombardments and from the Apache attacks. And at that time, you'll get 60 or 70 people running a very tiny hospital into the hospital, and you have to look for those who are silent, because those who are the ones who are dying. And you're trying to help everyone as much as you can, but you feel helpless. You don't have enough equipment, you run out of sterile things very quickly. So when I feel the despair of my colleagues now in Gaza, I remember every moment of those moments when we train and spend all their time wanting to help others, but we're helpless, we need help at that moment. And I can't understand how the world can stand and watch this massacre unfold. How can the world stand there and not try to do something to protect the men, women and children, to protect the neonatal ICUs where the babies are dying under the excuse, well, we're not going to give them fuel because someone else is going to use that fuel. Let them suffocate, and that's okay. That's fine. That's a self-defense measure. I can't understand by which terms that people can think and justify genocide, justify killing children. And this, I thought, okay, I was just traumatized, trying to console families where their children are dying, or where even there is somebody, some pile of flesh brought with a head or two on top of it from the Apache. And I'm trying to console the families crying all night because this is their father, this is the supplier, the one who works for them, or their brother or child. And then these atrocities will live with us forever. But again, they will not kill us because we are seeds. If they bury us, we will grow and we will stand up. And it's with the help of every and each one here, with every human being with a conscience that will not let us die and that will stand with us. And all I thought that my experience was so bad. But yet today, after 43 days of atrocities, I come to know that my experience was nothing. Whatever I went through was nothing to what all these doctors like Hammam al-Loh, Dr. Lubad and all one of them, who has been working for the 16 or 17 years under siege with limited resources, working tirelessly, insufficient staffing. We went through COVID here in Australia, and it was a tough time. But God knows what these guys are going through now. And God knows that they're doing everything they can to help their children. And they said that we will not leave our patience. We will not leave those people who are entrusted in their care. And they died doing that in the very moment. And they're worrying about their families whom they can't be with. And then the worst scenario when your son turns and being on the table for you to treat, or that they brought dead with barely any of them, everybody is recognizable. But you know what? They can try doing that. They can try wiping us from the memory of the world, but that will not happen. That will not happen, and we will stand together with all our fellow humans here in Australia, with our population, with everywhere in the world, and we will not be silenced. We will say what we feel, and thank you all for being here with us. And thank you all, and we will win, and Palestine will be free.
That's a good sign.